Well, let's talk now to Santosh Rao, who's Head of Research and a partner at Manhattan Venture Partners. Good to see you, Santosh. Welcome back to the programme. How do you assess, then, the state of US-India relations in the run-up to this meeting?
Yeah, well, this is definitely a soft touch against the backdrop of harsh tariff rhetoric. So I think this is welcome in that sense. Good photo opportunity, good soft touch towards something harsh behind it. Well, overall, I think India is in a good bargaining position in terms of, on a relative basis, in terms of tariffs. Of course, 10% is better than 26%. I think, but India can handle it. At this point, they have things are going their way. The dollar coming down, energy prices coming down. Energy, India imports 85% of its energy, so that's coming down. So that's good for them. And then the overall goods exports from India is just 1% of the overall GDP of India. So it doesn't affect them that much. I think it's really on the other side, like your commentator said, gems and all the other ones, the IT part, that's going to get hit. So there are some other second-order effects of the exports that need to be adjusted. So I think overall it'll be a very constructive engagement, and I think India is looking forward to talking to the US and getting this behind them so they can move on.
So what might the implications be, both regionally and globally, of a potentially closer US-India relationship? So,
I'm sorry, I did not understand the question, but what are the indications that India is close to US? I think overall, it's just the size of the Indian market. I think U.S. needs India more than India needs U.S. at this point, because the size of the budget, the trade surplus is very small on a relative basis. It's 40 billion exports, 20 billion imports. So it's really small. I may be off a few dollars here and there, but net, we have an export, India does, an export surplus. Trade balance is in India's favor. So they can adjust that. They can, and they have promised to do more. They want to do 500 billion in a couple of years in overall trade between the two countries. So they want to do more defense equipment that U.S. would love to sell India, buy more energy from U.S. So there are things that can be done, can be adjusted. India needs them badly. U.S. wants the huge Indian market. So you can tell on just the size of the market, the way it's growing, the population, and the internal power of the labor market and all that, infrastructure growing. So there's tremendous opportunity in India. So I think there is a mutual interest for both countries to work together and get it together.
Obviously, the threat of US tariffs are doing everything, really. How important is it for India that some arrangement could be made over this?
I think it's important. They need to get this out of the way. Things need to be, if you look at the Indian market, it's not that effective as other countries, because overall the trade, net exports or the import-export balance has a very minute influence on the GDP. It's a very small part of the overall GDP, but it's big. So, don't get me wrong. So India needs to get it together, needs to have a good constructive relation, and it's growing. It's growing, and it's a counterbalance to China. They want to take full advantage of it. So if they need to be constructive with the U.S. to take advantage of U.S.'s hostility towards China. So I think that's playing into their hand too. So they need to work together. So I think it's net. I would say India, it works in India's favor to be constructive and give U.S. what it wants to some extent, because they have some internal pressures as well from the farmers and other local markets. So they need to find a balance, a very delicate balance, I would say, but they can do it. India has tough negotiators. Trump likes Narendra Modi. So I think in that sense, few things working in their favor. So I think the engagement will be constructive and the outcome will be beneficial to both of them.
Santosh, great to talk to you as always. Thank you for coming on the programme. That's Santosh Rao from Manhattan Venture Partners.